anytime you guys write to me, you're more likely to get advice if you put in even a fake compliment. Skinny, beautiful, timeless, non-aging, clearly has never had Botox because you don't need it. All that stuff. And best comic who ever lived. Oh, f*** you. Oh, my God. It's Lisa Lampanelli. She may be down, but she's not out. Those of you under 40 have no idea who I am, and I don't care, because you never will. You'll never get like the old days. You know, when you could do comedy the way I did it. But you know what? I'm back, and I'm doing it even worse. Here I am on my brand new podcast on iHeart. Yay! Thank you, Elvis Duran. Called Lisa Lampanelli Shrink This. And what I mean is, shrink this doesn't apply to shrink your penis. No one wants that. Possibly shrink your vulva. I mean, I could use that because I've seen some action. However, let's get serious. This is really about me, Lisa Lampanelli. Helping you be your best self with my uncredentialed, unearned advice. Yes, do I know it all? Mm-hmm. But you won't think so, but you'll listen to me anyway. Guess what? We're here for the first episode, and I'm going to set the table and tell you what we're doing. I am an uncertified life coach, and I absolutely quit after 2 weeks of training. But I have watched a lot of self-help videos. I've gotten a lot of therapy, and I've listened to a podcast or two, so I think I know how to solve all your problems. If I don't, sorry. With me in studio is our lovely unnamed sidekick, Nick. I'm not giving his last name because he will get an ego about himself, and I don't like it. That's my way of helping him stay small while also not paying him. Would you like to say hi, Nick? Just
hi, everyone.
That's enough out of you.
It's Nick Scopoletti. Look me up.
Okay, yeah. Look him up. You'll find nothing.
I'm Elvis Duran's nephew. That's how I got this job.
I know. Wouldn't that be great?
That'd be cool.
Why weren't we ever related to anyone famous?
I mean, I got you now, kind of, right? No,
yeah, I'm kind of your aunt.
Yeah.
You have to now drive me to doctor's appointments, which we'll get back to that later.
We have adoption papers here, so we're going to figure it out.
I will. I will say Nick is going to be interjecting possibly the male perspective, because, you know, in this country, we don't have enough white men telling us what to do.
Amen.
Yes. This straight one at that. I mean, in quotes.
Yeah, big quotes.
Supposedly straight. I'm straight for now. I look more like a lesbian than ever, but I still haven't dove into.
Dive in head first.
Yeah, I can't do it yet.
Get in there.
So anyway, the podcast, Shrink This. Nick, we're going to be talking to people, and we're going to be getting letters from fans of mine and fans of, indeed, the iHeartRadio network and the Elvis Duran podcasting family. And they are going to ask my advice because I live a great life. Nick, who do you know who has it better than me? I won't let you answer because the answer is no one.
True.
I have
very true.
A lot of self-worth sometimes. I have money. I had a great career and knew when to get the F out when people stop saying things like the F word. But we'll say it here.
Oh, yeah. Well, you will. I don't know if I can.
No, but you have to sit there and be who's a good boy? Who is
Just give me some of these cookies on the chair. I'll do whatever you want.
Treats. So we're going to be taking calls. We're going to be getting letters. And I'm going to do my best to honestly make you laugh a little, but most of all, give you some good advice that will help make your life a little bit better. So if you want advice from Lisa, email the following email address: shrinkthisShow@gmail.com. Wow, that's newfangled. Gmail. You know what I still have is the AOL.
Oh, my God.
Shut up, man. All my friends have it. It would rock their world for them to change it. So I feel I'm protecting them by still staying old.
Totally.
In a future episode, we'll discuss aging and how to do it gracefully.
Right.
And that is called AOL. So this podcast, however, to get in touch with us and write me a letter and ask me any sort of advice except sexual, because I'm terrible at that.
That's for me. You can send those directly to me.
No,
at Nick Scopes on Instagram.
Shut up, Nick. You don't know anything about sex more than I do.
What do you mean?
I've been around. I fucked them all. Just kidding.
And she's got an AOL email. She knows a thing or two.
ShrinkthisShow@gmail.com. If you cannot spell that, I don't care. I am not going to spell out shrink this show at Gmail, because if you're a listener, be at least that smart. Am I right, Nick?
Yeah, for the most part.
I know. I am. If you don't know that, I can't help you with your spelling.
Don't talk to us.
Yeah, don't.
Gross.
Girls, I hate you right now.
Yeah.
Girl. Anyway, the overall objective of the show, as you know, is to help and to be humorous. But I think we should start this. This episode will start a tiny bit differently. We need to catch people up on, hey, Lise, where you been? What's the haps? What's the 411? What have you been doing? Well, as you know, I retired from stand-up comedy. Sad sound there. I was a little crying, like hysterical. Retired in 2018, and I have been a not insult comic ever since. I just insult friends and family, and I think that's the way it always should have been.
It's great.
Don't I do it well?
It's good to be on the receiving end, I gotta say.
Yeah, you've been on the receiving end.
Fist bump.
No, I'm glad they seated us far enough away from each other so we can't fist bump because you're such a bro.
Yeah, I get like 2 a year from Lisa.
I know.
I gotta really ration them out.
Just as much head as you get. Not from me.
Or give.
Oh, weird. Okay. So I retired in 2018. Now we're in like 2025. So a 7-year journey. Hey, Lise, where you been? They say to me. And I say, I've been laying low and working on me. But the last big thing people do remember, other than retirement, about me is my weight loss journey. So I decided to start this show because we did, not shockingly, get letters from people who want advice on weight loss and weight struggles and body image things, because that's what they kind of remember me most for. Back in 2010, I lost 107 pounds from weight loss surgery, not an eating disorder. It's out there. It's public. I always tell the truth about everything. And honestly, weight and body image and food has never stopped being a struggle, even from then. Now, Nick, you've clearly experienced weight struggles.
Oh, yeah.
Look at you.
This is my second fat. I've had a top one fat where I was like 270, and this is my second one, I'm 245.
Because you're what you would call now misshapen.
Yes.
Large, would you say?
Large, big-breasted.
You're a bit of an odor. No, here's the thing, though. You were a bodybuilder at one time.
Once upon a time.
And then what happens is life gets in the way.
Yeah.
So even after I got this surgery, there was a lot of ego attached. There was a lot of going on the different shows, whether it was Elvis or whoever, and being like, oh my God, I lost 60, then I lost 100. I did a photo shoot for, I think it was, oh my God, In Style magazine or something.
Maxim?
No, I wish. With the Chippendales guys, like holding me up. And I was like, this has just become too much of my identity. Like, people are just going, oh my God, the weight loss, that's such a big deal. Then when I happen to retire and then there's a pandemic, I'm like, oh, what else am I besides this? Because I don't know about you, Nick. Clearly you've packed on some.
I have.
It is a struggle not to emotionally eat, even after a surgery. So I was lucky enough that the surgery is in place. You can't really gain that much weight. But even 10 or 20 feels, I mean, it's so devastating. And I'm like, wow, this is the issue we have to talk about today and give people advice on, because it's literally the only thing that seems to come out of any of my friends' mouths. What they're struggling with is always weight, food, body image stuff. Do you find that? Because you are a trainer.
I am.
You're
I am
the
a trainer.
misshapen trainer. That's your Instagram handle.
All my clients started with me when I was in good shape, and then they saw but we're on our way back. We're down 10.
Are you?
Yeah. Hand me one of those cookies.
Yeah. No, I mean, and again, I don't think the goal is weight loss. I think the goal is I'm okay the way I am, which I honestly, at 63 years old, I don't know if that would ever be possible at a higher weight. Meaning, I have had 60 some years of living in a fat phobic, capitalistic, patriarchal.
Yeah, dude.
Shut up, bitch. I'm being serious. No, we all get diet culture. I've gotten 60 years of Diet Club messages. So some of my 40-year-old friends, because, I'm hip. I like to be friends with the kids. My 40-year-old friends are like only fighting 40 years of messaging that fat is bad and thin is good. They can maybe win the battle of like, look, I can accept myself in a bigger body. It's fine. If I'm healthy, that's good. Dude, there's something about me that is like too many years. And also maybe in public, always having to make fun of myself for weight. Having to make fun of myself.
That had to be huge. I mean, you were a comic for 30 years.
When you just said huge, was that a slight to me? No, thank you.
It was a slur, slur.
But what's funny is I'll look back at those pictures and I'm like, wow, I mean, I wasn't ever round. I wasn't ever like where I was in any health danger, but I still felt less than because of the constant messaging. I mean, remember, I grew up in the 70s and 60s, like Twiggy. Right. There was this really skinny model. Like the body aesthetic is so, and it's cyclical. It came back. It's the same way now.
Yeah.
So I just go, you know what? I'm still struggling with it. So after a like 20-pound gain during the pandemic and then being like, also, man, bodies change when you're freaking older. You got no testosterone, so that is not burning off anymore.
We're trying to tell you is Lisa is on steroids.
I am. I'm on Rogaine
and
piss
steroids. Tested her. Yeah, they piss tested her before we got this podcast.
I'm on prednisone, gabapentin. No, I gained this 20, and I said I don't like it, but yet I'd look at the pictures of me after all the weight loss, and I said that was too weirdly skinny. Me. Okay, I'm just going to speak of my experience. I, Lisa Lampanelli, should not at age 60-something weigh what I did in high school. There's some disconnect in my mind that does not seem like the right goal. So I said, where would I be comfortable? I'd be comfortable with maybe what it was in college, whatever it is. Maybe it's what it was 8 years ago. And I tracked it down. Part of it, it correlates, the weight gain correlates with when my mother died, because you lose your last parent, at least in my opinion, and then it's like, whoa, I'm the adult now. Comfort food starts coming in, which, by the way, I don't think there's anything wrong with comfort food. It's freaking delicious, and we're allowed to process emotions anyway.
Absolutely. You and I don't do drugs or alcohol, but we'll eat.
Oh, we throw it down.
Oh, my God.
So I said, I bet I'd be comfortable 10 pounds less, meaning out of the 20, let's try to lose 10. So I'm a very honest person. I asked my friend Andrew the Jew Ginsberg. Now, I call him the Jew because that's what he says to call him, because he's very proud of this. And I'm very proud of him, too. In fact, last year I got my first menorah just in solidarity for Andrew and his Jewish heritage. So I said, what is this weight loss, drugs, and medication out there? And he said, as a personal trainer, he's actually still in shape, unlike you, Nick.
He is. Well, round is a shape, if you think of it.
You're not wrong.
Am I right?
I love it.
Yeah, she fist bumped me.
I'm like talking about body acceptance, but throwing fat jokes your way. This is what you're going to get, people. If you don't like it, don't fucking be like, oh, remember,
shrink this if you don't like it.
Asshole. Yeah. So anyway, he goes, Lisa, honestly, now that there is no shortage of the drugs, it has changed my clients' lives who are food obsessed and cannot get it out of their heads. And I said to myself, if there's one thing I am, it's wealthy. So I am going to pay, because I have no other issues. I'm going to pay and get that shot and get that 10 pounds off. And can I tell you something, Nick? You're going to die. You won't do this. You won't do it because you feel like you need to do the hard work. I don't, because mentally my mind would not shut off of food even after the surgery. Dude, I'm not going to lie to you. The day I took the first shot, there was zero food noise. And that's the big thing now, is that they're saying, even if you don't lose a pound, which it's unlikely you won't lose something, just you're not thinking about food ever.
Yeah.
You're not obsessed with it. You don't forget to eat, like you're hungry and you eat. So I went on this one. I won't name it, but it's called Zepbound. And this stuff.
I won't name it, but here it is.
I'm not weighing myself. I'm just enjoying not being obsessed with food. I'm literally going in my closet and going, these clothes are fine. They're just not tight anymore. I'm like, wow, I can accept where I am now. In a perfect world, the perfect world, I'd be able to accept myself at any size. 63-year-old me can't do that. And you know what? I'm doing it. I'm putting it out there. People, there's no shame in any of this stuff. The doctor I got it from said to me, what keeps people from doing either surgery or the weight loss drugs, they feel they have something to prove, that they have to do it the hard way. I don't want to do anything the hard way. Remember in Dangerfield and Caddyshack said, hey, you want to earn $8 the hard way to the lady? I wouldn't want to learn it the hard way. I want to earn it the easy way. I'm going to lay down and get a shot. That's what I tell you.
Lay down and take it.
This is where I am. The honesty journey continues with LL. And in our second segment, see, this is a clue. We're going into another segment.
Wow.
And it may be a commercial because if we're popular enough, we'll get to advertise things.
She's a pro, guys.
She's so good. We're going to take a couple letters that unsurprisingly came in about people struggling with this same problem and addiction. The podcast, Shrink This. We're going to shrink people's problems for them. Hey, wait. That's really what shrink should mean, because people call it a head shrinker, right? That's how it got the psychiatrists, they say head shrinker. So they shrink your head. No, we're here to shrink your problems.
And your waistline.
No, we're not. We're helping
right.
people accept who they are.
Body positivity.
Shut up.
Thick with 3 C's, bitch.
Thick with 3 C's?
Yeah.
What is
That's
that?
a thing. You're young.
Wait, what
Fist
does this
bump.
mean?
She did it again.
Okay, what does it mean?
It just means you're thick, yo. With 3 C's. It means extra thick.
See, that's why I used to, when I dated other ethnicities than white, they used to enjoy that because I had
phase.
the push-in for the cushion. No, the cushion. I did not have a push-in. I had a cushion for the push-in. And
Mine's a push-in. I have a push-in.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Well, I tell you what. Let me tell you, I'm glad that it's embraced by culture. Like some people actually like a thicker person. So everybody's fine. Just like yourself. That's my first piece of advice, but it probably won't work.
That's right. Every week's Bear Week at Shrink This.
That's, if everybody doesn't know, a bear is a fat, hairy gay.
Yep.
Which we have in the
Bear
studio.
Week in P-Town.
Woo! Okay, so Nick.
I've only heard about it. I've never been.
I know.
Whatever.
Read us our first letter.
All right. So our first letter is from Randy in Perth, Ontario. I would do a Canadian accent, but I'm not good at it.
I got Canadian fans. I remember I would go play there, and they were the politest people, which is a
They
cliche,
are
but
out
it's
of this
true.
world polite.
Like, I would come off stage, and when we do signings, they'd be like, thank you, Miss Lampanelli. In America,
insane.
they say, sign it quicker, cunt. I don't like that. From now on, Nick, call me Miss Lampanelli, okay?
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Miss Lampanelli. This is from Randy in Perth, Ontario. Hi, Lisa. You seem grounded and fun.
Okay,
We love a compliment.
Wait, I'm going to say one thing. Anytime you guys write to me, you're more likely to get advice if you put in even a fake compliment. Skinny, beautiful, timeless, non-aging, clearly has never had Botox because you don't need it. All that stuff. And best comic who ever lived. Okay, go ahead, Nick.
That too. Hi, Lisa. You seem grounded and fun. I'm fat and okay with... Oh, this is my letter to you. Sorry. It's the wrong thing. No. I'm fat and okay with it, but I do feel like my relationship with food is out of control. There are some physical, psychological, and habitual reasons, but my particular body is not a bank account, which I don't really know what that means. Are you poor? What do you...
No, I think it's because he gets deposits and no
Deposits,
withdrawals.
yeah.
I don't know, dude. The first time I'm hearing this.
Been there, you know. It's not a bank account, so diets and lifestyle changes simply are not for me. I know this after trying for decades, then just accepting myself over the last few years. I'm willing to try one last time to see what I can learn and maybe change about this stuff.
Yeah, see, that's what, I mean, it sounds so similar to what I went through. It was like, no, I'm fat and it's fine. Like, it's fine. It's fine. No, girl. And I just didn't internally believe it. So, like, up until that last line, I was like, oh, this guy really, Randy, if I may call him such a thing.
Yep, you can.
He sounds like he's accepting, but then that little thing at the end, but I'm willing to try one more thing. I think that's literally where I was at, where I'm just like, do I have to stay in this body if I don't like it? It's clearly not as urgent or life-threatening or just difficult as struggling that I'm sure trans people go through, but just feeling like I'm not supposed to be in this body and it haunting you sort of in the back of your head the whole time. So I think he isn't at fat and accepting. Again, it's sad to me because if we could only get there, it would be great.
Yeah. He's like, I'm fat and okay with it, but also help me change this stuff about myself.
I know.
So it's like a middle, which I get that. I've literally been there where you're like, I need to change, but at the same time, you're just stuck in whatever it is. And it's probably coming, what I've learned from my life coach, Lisa Lampanelli.
She's so good.
No, she's like the best. But no, what I've learned is usually it's never about the stuff you think it is. It's not like, okay, Monday I start the diet,
yes.
and then maybe you're good for Monday, maybe half of Tuesday.
Yep.
Wednesday you're like, oh well, I had a cook, and then you do the thing where you have a few snacks, and then you're like, you know what? It's like when you have a flat tire, and you're like, let's pop the other three.
Yeah.
Fuck it, let's just pull the button.
Yeah.
But usually it's coming from something else, and if you were to work on yourself or follow what it says on Lisa's sweatshirt. Go to therapy, which it's usually coming from something else, right? Like something
it's never about the food.
No,
I remember once Glennon Doyle, who is probably one of the best podcasts, she says, you can never get enough of what you think you need. So if you're like, okay, I need a cookie, then you just can't get enough of it. Because guess what? You think you need the cookie, but what do you really need?
Yeah.
Do you need, self-love, self-acceptance, to talk to someone, I'm not a big proponent of exercise and going outside, God forbid. But some people get connected with nature or whatever that feels like, which seems gross to me, but God bless them. Go for your hike or your walk. Ew. So I think it's just like, if you don't really need it, that's not the thing. It's about something internal that's making us go to these substances.
100%.
So, I mean, it's definitely, I was never a big fan of Overeaters Anonymous. I'm a huge 12-step fan. I love 12-step programs. I kind of like going to them and like seeing how long people have been in the program so I could judge if I'm better than them. And I always am. And I always judge them. It's fantastic.
She brings her own tiara to the meetings.
I do. I'm always queen of it. I am. And by the way, P.S., I did a lot of Codependence Anonymous stuff because I had codependent relationships. Do you know you're not allowed to even nod at someone sharing because that encourages them and gives them some kind of like reinforcement they shouldn't need?
What?
So I didn't belong there because you know me, I'm so supportive. Aren't I the most supportive?
Yeah.
Just say it.
No, totally.
I know. So you can't go, oh, I get it. So anyway, I never loved Overeaters Anonymous because they ban certain foods. Then all you're doing is being obsessed with getting that particular food at some point.
What were the particular foods they banned?
Well, most of them don't like sugar or white flour at all.
Okay.
And I'm like, you know what?
I don't like white flour either. Yeah. I'm a brown flour guy.
You're like an almond flour.
If you know what I'm saying.
I do, girl. Preach to the choir.
Mama likes caramel. What is wrong with me?
I'm going to throw up. So I think for poor Randy, do some internal digging, go to the shrink and figure out if it's food that you want in those moments or if it's something else. Is it connection? Johan Hari wrote this great book called Lost Connections about like when we think we need a substance, it's usually because we aren't connected with ourselves, our spirit, nature, other people, community. And there's like difficulty in finding community. There's difficulty in finding alone time enough to work on ourselves. There's difficulty in freaking affording a shrink. That's why I feel half the time like I can't complain about any of my problems because I'm like, well, at least I can afford therapy. There's people who can't even afford it. So it's hard to get access to all this internal work when you could just reach for a cookie and for the moment it feels better, but then it's just the moment.
Right.
So do I still, before the weight loss drug, I would definitely go to food for comfort and stuff. Why not? Now it doesn't occur to me. But again, privileged to be able to afford the drugs and also privilege of having a doctor who actually says, I hear you and it's not your fault.
Right.
So Randy, try to do the internal work. try to get even if you can just afford books or something, or listen to podcasts that really give good advice, unlike this one.
Right. Anyone but this podcast.
Any podcast is smarter than me. No, but I think it's just work on the acceptance. But if you can't get to acceptance, damn it, maybe the diet, exercise, surgery, or medication option is for you. Like, don't die and kill yourself over trying to get acceptance if you can't, because that's the only answer.
True.
Am I right?
It'll come when it comes. You just got to work on yourself.
Yeah. And, men don't come quickly enough. I found, wait, that's a different episode. Because let me tell you something.
Not in my
I haven't had
experience.
sex by choice. I'm sure it was other people's choice too. For so many years. I can't wait to do an episode on that. Because I am not blowing anyone. I'm way too famous.
Right.
I'm not hand jobbing
Same.
because of the arthritis. And the joy
No hand
of-
jobbing for me.
I enjoy being a girl. Do we have another letter, Nick?
We do. Excuse me.
Wait, let me briefly introduce Celia. Why? She prefers Celia, but I'm going to call her Celia because I enjoy that so much.
That's
Celia,
totally
I want to introduce, because you're not even a millennial.
No.
You strike me as a Gen
You're
Z.
a newborn baby, basically.
Yeah, I know. She's so
I am.
cute. Are you Gen Z, as the British say? Oh, you're like 22.
know.
Oh my
God.
God.
So cringe.
I know it's good. I love that we're leaving to your generation all the problems we created.
I don't.
I want to thank you for taking over, because I'll be dead in 20 years and you won't.
Who
And-
knows that?
Yeah, that is true. You might be.
With the state of the world right now, I might be dead tomorrow.
Same
No,
girl,
we're
same.
good. You're good.
I don't know.
You have longevity, and just like I can just feel that vibe about you.
Okay, why are you such a girl today?
I don't know, dude.
it.
I think because I slept well, so I'm like, whatever.
You're loosey-goosey.
Yeah.
He had
Oh
some
my
silly
God.
goose juice this
Oh
morning.
yeah,
sure
dude.
did.
It's called vodka.
This is why when Nick says to me, so listen, man, going to take the train in because we live in Connecticut because we're like fancy. He's like, I'm going
In
to take
Greenwich
the
and
train
Lisa's
in.
mansion.
Maybe I could get a ride home. This is why I don't give him a ride home, because he's going to be that for all the hours of traffic
that's
back to
not
Connecticut. And he'll sit there and he'll be like annoying me. So I go, I have some phone calls and business I have to take care of.
She said she had calls. I was like,
no, I
that's
actually
all right.
do. Okay.
Listen, do you want me to take the minutes? I'll sit in the
fucking lie,
passenger
man.
seat. No,
You've
it's okay.
been
I
so-
actually love the train.
Okay, good.
I love people watching.
Poor. Okay, so give me that last letter. We have to
All
help
right.
somebody.
Last letter here. Scott from St. Albans in the UK.
Oh my God, that's why oh my God, Zed. Generation Z. Honoration
In the
Z.
UK. You have a lot of international. Did you do a lot of shows there?
No, my manager
You
used
never
to
did
call
any in
me
the
and
UK?
she'd go, they want to send you on tour in Europe. I said, I'd rather eat a fucking gun. I don't like this thing about traveling. Enough to
Really?
Idaho or to Iowa or to California. I don't like it. Too much trouble. But clearly I have fans there, so go ahead.
I guess so. So the message is, I have constant pressure in my job, which I love. But I end up comfort eating and I'm stuck. I know the answers, but don't know why I can't implement them. They talk so nice over there.
They do, and you do not. That was a terrible accent. Could you please go
Pretty
back?
good.
Pretty. Okay,
Not
wait.
bad for
Read
Elvis's
me-
nephew. Pretty talented.
Read me the last line.
He says he's struggling. He's comfort eating and he's stuck. He knows the answers, but doesn't know why he can't implement them.
This is my question. I always think, say we're dating someone toxic or terrible. Actually, I don't actually feel most of the time it's not a toxic person. I think the combination of people is toxic. So it could be a perfectly nice guy, perfectly nice girl, it just combines and it's a terrible implosion. But say we were dating someone that we know isn't right for us. We know we should get rid of them, but we can't. So we know the answer, like he's saying. What's his name again? Scott?
Scott.
They're all Scott. Who's the other guy? Oh, Randy?
Scott and Randy.
Oh, fuck Randy, man.
They sound like a boy band. Fuck these guys, man.
Fuck Randy, that fat fuck. No, but Scott.
Fuck you, Randy.
I hate you. Wait, so he knows, we all know logically, wow, I bet it's not great for me to eat past fullness. Wow, I bet it's not great to have 100% sugar. I have, by the way, no problem with sugar, all that stuff. And it's always like kind of like it all balances out because you eat enough other stuff. I think we all know the answers. Why do you think we stay stuck? Nick, you clearly are stuck in many ways.
I'm stuck in this chair right now.
Because it has arms. So what happens when you know the answer and just can't pull the trigger? Do you think I usually say, well, I'm not ready yet, and I will know when I'm ready, but I'm so connected, hopefully, enough to myself and therapy that you can have those quiet moments and feel the shift internally. We just don't, maybe he doesn't slow down enough to go, oh, I'm just going to let this go right now. I'm going to feel it when it's supposed to change, and I'll make the changes I need to.
Yeah, I know for me, it's just protecting myself, right? Even if it's a new thing, like he's like I know the answers. I'm a trainer. I've worked out my whole life, right? I know the answers, but there's times where there's something else going on, and you just are not ready to hear it unless you hear it from someone else or a friend, or they point it out to you. You just are like, you're trying to protect yourself at all costs. And this would be something new. Like if he knows the answer, say he knows the answer, but I don't know what the answer is for him. It's eating chicken breast and whatever the hell else, right? If he knows the answer and he's afraid to do it, it's just change. And it's just a loss of what he just had, right? That's what I think is like he has this life now where he's like comfort eating. And guess what? It's called comfort eating. It's comfortable.
It sure is.
It feels good.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. But if he knows the answers, and there are people that know the answers, but he can't implement them, I just think it's this new thing he has to embark on. And he's probably thinking, this is what I would be thinking, but I don't want to put words in Scott's mouth. But what if I fail at this? Like,
oh, yeah.
How's that going to feel? How am I going to react to that? It's just all protecting yourself and just trying to keep homeostasis of just like, don't let anything change and just move forward and just feel, you know what I mean?
Well, because with every change, even if it's a good one, there's a loss. So
100%.
I retired. Obviously, the change was right for me because I was so much happier after. It's still a loss. For me, it was like loss of identity, loss of something to do on a routine basis.
Yeah.
Like you're not flying all over the country anymore. So even with like a weight loss, maybe he wouldn't know who he would be as a thin person. I have a relative who literally has never gone on a diet, exercised, or done surgery or anything, because I don't think they would know who they were in a different body. And that's scary. It's like, oh, will I turn into a big whore? The answer for me was yes.
100%.
Oh my God, I was a whore before that.
There's nothing better than losing a bunch of weight and just out there just doing it.
No, that's just another.
All the new attention. It's just another replacement. It's
it's just
it's
another
a drug.
thing that to not look at ourselves and who we are and why we need what we need.
Yeah.
So I think, for him, that's staying stuck. I hate the word reframe, but it would be great if he could just change like, I'm not ready yet. It's fine. I'm not ready yet. Matter of fact, like over the Christmas holidays, it was so stressful. Thank God, of course, it ended up great. Of course, everything got done. But I had a problem. My first doggy ever, Parker, was having like a problem with his back legs, and I was freaking out. And at the same time, literally the same day, my car like died. So, and then there's the holiday shopping and the hosting and this and that. And I said to my therapist, I think we got to make this week about only the dog and the car. Like those are big. Maybe for him, and of course everything got done. I did the stuff in the later weeks. Maybe for him it's going, you know what? I'm just going to try to not force it until I'm ready. And I don't know, suddenly it just feel ready. Because what ended up happening, I told my shrink, I'm like, I'm not going to decorate till next week then. I'm just not going to do it. Of course, that week comes. I'm like, yeah, this feels fun.
Right.
But it has to take the pressure off yourself. And we're so used to society putting on the pressure to be thin and to be in a different body. And I'm sure for gay men, it's horrible. And for women, it's horrible. And even you supposedly straight guys, it's hard. It's like, maybe it's where you just let it go and go, the answer will come to me when I'm not putting so much pressure on myself because I'm getting enough from social media and society anyway. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that was perfect, actually.
You are not straight. I'm just saying.
I am
I
just
think
comfortable.
Hopefully, Randy and Scott feel some relief. Hopefully, someday we'll find out if I have any fans in America. Maybe I've just alienated this whole country.
America, they abandoned you, man.
I was like, thanks for the shot, Elvis Duran.
Yeah.
Canceled podcast immediately.
They abandoned you just like my Uncle Elvis, dude. Never text me back.
So every week, I show you, hey, I'm not perfect. I know what you think. Lisa, LL cool.
Miss Lampaguli.
LL Cool Whip. You're terrific. You must have no problems and may probably never screw up. Well, no, that's not true, because every once in a while, every hour or so, I do screw up. And I will admit this week, I didn't think was going to be a doozy, but it turned into one. I'd gone to try to rent a car.
Oh, boy.
And they didn't have it. Okay, they did, but the place was closed because I misread the hours on the website. Maybe because I'm still on AOL.
They did, yeah. I was going to say, they were like, an AOL email, this is a prank.
I know.
Lisa Lampanelli at AOL? Someone's trying to fuck with us.
I know. So I call my good friend Nick to rescue me and drive me to a comedy class that I teach every Wednesdays to adults who have no hope of making it.
That's right.
Nick's in that class, so you understand.
I wear a dunce cap. I'm in the corner. Sometimes a helmet.
So we're going to the class, and Nick, he's a guy, and I forgot. It's been a long time since I've been with a guy. And usually, if it's a guy I was dating, I get to push them around because I'm the one with the money and the fame, and you're a loser, and I date you because you're a fucking loser and have to be kowtowing to my countenance, as it were. So, of course, I make all the rules. So I like changing the radio dial and turning the heat up and putting on the defroster and generally experimenting and fucking with their car. So I literally hate when Waze is on loud. I'm not mentally so stupid that I need someone telling me how to get there. I can look at a map and follow it. Nick, as he's driving, has Waze bitch turned up and it's coming through the speakers. And I just literally thought nothing of grabbing the volume knob and going, who needs this bitch talking? And he goes, listen, man. Listen.
She's not wrong.
I love you, man, but just don't do that. And I thought to myself, how dare you? I give you an opportunity to be an unpaid sidekick with no last name.
Sponsored by Schmeckles Cookies.
I'm teaching you comedy for nothing. I said in my head, but then this is how I know it was my fuck up and not his. Yes. Could he become more flexible? And maybe if he did, he'd have a girlfriend. Maybe. But
good luck.
I said, this is my problem because you're in his car. You ask his favor to help you, and you cannot be in charge of everyone's machinery. I have a friend, Amy, who's one of my best friends in the world. She doesn't like people touching her phone. I don't get it. Was it up her snatch? Possibly.
Smelled like it.
On vibrate. But I said, okay, this is my F up. I have to own that some people have boundaries and rules, and I have to admit my mistake. So while I still think I was right, that you're not that stupid that you need her talking to you and you have eyes in your fucking head, you moron, I can still admit it was my F up that I grabbed your knob and turned it.
Finally!
I grabbed his
Schmeckle cookie
and shoved it to the right. I just kind of, I yanked it. I yanked it to the left to turn it off.
Yeah.
And me usually grabbing something and yanking it to the left is a turn off. Ask anyone. So, Nick, I apologize. Most of my fuck-ups, I won't get the chance to actually apologize to the person.
Right.
Because usually they're unnamed and an Amazon delivery person. But to you, I apologize. Will I guarantee I'll never do it again? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I don't learn from my mistakes.
That's right.
But at least my fake sincerity in this moment.
It's really good.
It shows that I'm an actress.
Yes.
So
you
why am
are
I
an
doing
actress.
a podcast? I'm a great actress. I quit.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed the pilot and last
I tried
episode.
to note. I tried to turn the voice off. It didn't work though. I
You
muted.
got to turn it off on your phone and the knob. You need to
I was
grab it and
jamming
thrust
out.
to the left.
I was jamming though. We had Creed on.
See, that's okay. That was the first.
It was
thing.
on volume 4.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot.
And you were like, "This is too loud."
You're an idiot. You know when you drive with me, I never turn anything on.
That's why I put on volume 4.
I've never had a radio on other than when I'm alone. I want to talk. I want to connect. I'm big on connecting with people. You made connection difficult yesterday. I was trying to talk about the podcast. I was
to connect
trying
my Apple CarPlay and it kept fucking up.
Well, if your fucking elderly 80 goddamn year old father didn't drive it and screw it up, that's the problem. I love you, Robert.
He does a lot of yanking.
He does.
Love
She
you,
sure
Dad.
does. Love you, Dad.
It's Elvis's brother, my dad.
Shut the fuck up about Elvis. All right. So listen to me real quick. I do apologize, but yet I know I'm right.
Totally.
But isn't that how it usually is, though, with things?
Pretty much.
Where you just go, I accept that we have different views on this. It's funny because I don't care who yanks me to the left or the right. Like in my car, like, no, but they can't. Okay, maybe.
You definitely have
wait a
stuff.
minute.
Don't
if
lie,
anyone
dude.
turned on the radio, I'd kill you.
Exactly.
I don't want to hear anything other than conversation. I want to talk. I also hate. I have a fucking sunroof that I have never opened because it's like, when did they invent those? Like, I just knew.
Look it up, Cecilia. When did they invent sunroofs?
Cecilia. Cecilia.
I like Cecilia. I don't know.
I actually love that name.
Everyone does that to me.
I know.
Everyone calls
Say it
me
again.
Cecilia.
Say your real name.
Celia.
Celia. All right.
It's without the first
I fucked it up.
syllable.
Got it.
Yeah.
Celia. Dope. Got it.
Anyway.
Celiac disease.
So I have,
Exactly.
I have a sunroof I've never used. So I guess in a way I'm kind of like you in that I don't want people but it's not that it's not just them. See, you were mad that I was trying to control your machinery. I get mad because I don't particularly like the
Right.
options people are playing with.
We're just two lone wolves, dude.
That's the thing. How
All right.
you're never going to get a girlfriend. I think that's like the moral of this. Is that if you can't learn
dog.
to allow your elderly Aunt Lisa to turn your knob, when will you let a woman turn your knob? Although, let me ask you this.
I would
'cause
tell anyone that.
Listen.
My dad would hit him in the head and go, "Stop. Don't
what
touch it."
though, if you're on like second date, chick is so super fucking hot. Let's name her randomly Annette. And I don't know. I just picked it out of my ass.
Totally.
Like many other things. Do you, and you were like smitten with her, but not just in a sexual way, like
Right.
you-
Actually,
you talk-
I really like her.
like if you really like her, like you said, our one of our heroes, Sebastian Maniscalco, met his wife when he was 42, I think.
He was in his 40s somewhere.
Yeah, and they didn't even kiss for like 6 dates, and he just really liked her. So if you say you were feeling that way on a second date, and she was like, "Oh my God, can I turn?" No, she doesn't ask. She's like a LL in a way, Lisa Lampanelli, and she goes, "Oh my God, I love this jam," because I'm imagining every girl you date talks like that because you're not that smart. And you're not stupid, but you're not that smart. And she would go like, "Oh my God, Nang, and love in sync." And she like,
So do I. Merry Christmas.
Shut up. What's so funny is like that's the last band I ever knew who it was. I lost track of all music since then. I'm not kidding. I don't know any
1998,
music.
you were like, "That's it.
Nope.
Checked out."
I shut it down. I said, "Nope, I don't care." Every song at my funeral's from back then. It's already programmed at the funeral home.
Right.
Anyway, would you be like, "Oh my God, I like her enough to bend this rule"?
If I actually really liked her and I was on a second date, yeah, I'd probably like let it go for a little bit, and then once we got comfortable, if she kept doing it, I'd be like, "Hey, I really don't like."
Or
when you...
though, see, this is why you're an idiot. How about the
Should
right?
I just say it in the moment?
No, I think you should work on that control.
Yeah.
Like what is it that makes you so tightly wound about somebody touching something like that? So in other words, it's a normal human thing for her to be like, "Oh my God, cute," and turn up the volume.
Yeah.
Trust me, I hate all your girlfriends, so I'm not on her side. I just think the bigger issue, remember how we said the food thing isn't really about the food? A cookie is not just a cookie. What is it? Hey, this is a very small area of life that I can actually control, and it's my fiefdom, and this is what I'm controlling. Maybe lightening up on that a little.
Yeah, that's hard for me, man. I don't know how. I really don't. There are moments because I live alone, got my car, and I do like my routine. And if like someone throws me out of it, I'm like, I get a little whatever. But I don't know. I think it's just like a protection thing. Just like I know what's coming next. Like,
yep.
Everything's in spot.
I'm not going to get in my car and the volume going to be down, and then I'm like, how do I do this? Like, which knob do I do? Because there's like all these different bells and whistles.
It is wild how much it throws me. Because the other day, my dad and I switched cars for a day, and then I was trying to find my cord to plug in my phone, whatever, and it moved, and I couldn't find where it was, but it was in the same spot. But this is past history of growing up with my father.
Yeah,
he is the guy who will move something and be like, where did this go? And he'd be like, oh, I don't know. And I'd be like, there's no one else here but you and I.
Right.
Just tell me. So like when that was sending me into a rage, and then it was right where I thought it was. But I just had a moment of like, if he fucking moved this thing or took it with him, I'm going to be so pissed.
No, I get that. We like what we like. I love living alone because everything's exactly the way it is when I go back home. I remember when I was married to Jimmy Big Balls, who go listen to some of their interviews. We don't hate each other, thank God. But I would come home and I'd be like, why did you move that thing? Oh, because I live here. I'm like, well, that's going to change. Like, I just can't live with people. And again, this is a control thing. So I think with you and also me and other people, we're like, oh, I can't control that my mom died when she died. I can't control that my dad's like getting older. I can't control that the world's on fire. In this fucking 2021 Toyota Camry, I can make the rules.
Right.
And bending for other people, it's like, oh, do we want to let other people in that way?
Right.
Because it's hard to let give away to any control, correct?
Yeah. If I do let a woman touch my car and do all that stuff, then I'll know, and I'm cool with it, then she's the one. That's how I know.
That's a fantasy. Are you in a Hallmark movie? Because Christmas season's over.
Merry
bitch.
Christmas.
Oh, shut up. It's over.
Happy holiday.
On that note, I think we've decided that Lisa Lampanelli is sorry, but not sorry. And always right.
Tale as old as time.
If you'd like more of this profoundly wonderful advice, seriously, if you have an issue or a problem, please email the show and we will get to your letter if it contains first a compliment. Send us your questions. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. I'm not on a lot of socials, but I'm like kind of active on Instagram. Follow me at Lisa Lampanelli. Again, if you cannot spell it, well, look at the fuck up.
Fuck you.
And Nick, because I'm feeling generous and fucked with your knob, you may give out one social media.
You can follow me at Nick Scopes on all platforms. TikTok, Instagram, Grindr, Hinge. All of
Rover.com,
it. Yeah,
Turbo,
you can follow me to my car if you'd like, but don't touch my knobs.
That's true. And isn't that a nice way to end things?
It is.
So we'll see you next time. Thank you again, Elvis Duran. Thank you, iHeart. Thank you, Elvis Duran Podcast Network. Thanks, listeners. We love you, but not that way.
Bye.
Make sure to listen to Shrink This on the iHeartRadio app or wherever else you get your podcasts. And if you're getting them somewhere else, like, fuck you, man. Go to fucking iHeart!